Buenos dias, folks, fuckers. How are we? Here we are again. It's a little bit late. The sun is a little bit higher. What am I saying? I'm saying that we should not be able to see the sun to our northeast at the same time as Norway can their late night sun because of the tilt and everything, right? So I'm saying, no, it's not possible. Norway seeing the same sun as we're seeing, that isn't possible because of angles and stuff. So there are a lot of people who are commenting on this, right? And I can see by the comments that those people are not getting the full picture. So this morning, I'm gonna show you something because there are a lot of people, you think you understand the science, but you don't, because you don't understand a few of the factors that we're dealing with that come before the science. When I show you this here, and these are the points of view. This is Norway up here, right? And that's where they're looking. And then we've got us where we're looking. But we're not going to deal with that right now. If I ask the question, right, folks, I'm about to show you why it isn't possible for Norway and us in Australia to be seeing the same sun. What is the most important thing about all of this that you would need to know before I started to show you what I'm talking about? The most important thing that people need, you must understand this, and a lot of people don't. Whereabouts is the sun? The size of the sun, the distance to the sun from that globe. Where is it? How far away is it? Not many of you will know that because you don't think about it. It's key in understanding what I'm saying. So we're going to go back, not to the beginning, but to the beginning. It's only going to take 5 to 10 minutes. This must be understood, because if you don't understand this, then you don't understand anything about what I'm actually trying to get across, right? Now, on that whiteboard, there are a few things that you simply must understand about what I'm doing here. This is about Earth, right? We want to know where the sun is. We can see some points of view, pieces of string coming off of the globe, but where are they going? If you don't know where the sun is, how do you even know what I'm trying to say? Earth's diameter, we know that, 12,742 Ks. That globe is 30 centimeters. So we can work out the distance and size of the sun just from having that diameter, 30 centimeters. This is the sun's diameter, 1,390,000 Ks. 12,742 is our diameter, planet Earth, okay? If we divide the sun's diameter by our diameter, we get 109. Everybody knows this. Oh yeah, there are 109 Earths inside the sun's diameter. 109 Earth diameters in the sun's diameter. 109. Now that we know that there are 109, if we multiply that 109 by the 30 centimeters of the globe, we have us a sun size. And that is 30 centimeters times 109 is 32.7 meters. 32 meters. The sun, people on that globe would be looking at, right, if it stays perfectly to scale, is 32.7 meters in diameter. Now, an apartment block with units, floors, let's just say that are 2 meters high, it would obviously be higher. So let's just say a fairly, 2 meters per floor. That is 16 floors. 32. So the sun, in this scenario, has a diameter of 14 to 15 to 16 floors, right? Up to the top. That is the diameter of the sun that we're looking at. An apartment block that's 16 floors up and 16 floors wide, but round. That is a big sun, right? Now, what we want to know is the distance. We want to know the distance to that sun, because we just must know, because otherwise we don't know where this line of sight is going. We know that the sun, in this case, has a diameter of 32.7 meters. If we divide the distance between us and the sun, 150 million kilometers, they tell us, by the sun's diameter, we get 108. There are 108 sun diameters in between Earth and the sun. Our sun diameter for this exercise is 32.7 meters. That is the sun that we have. We multiply it by 108 sun diameters. That's 3.5 kilometers. So we are looking from that globe right there, keeping everything perfectly to scale. We are looking at a sun that has a diameter of a 15, 16 story apartment block, height, same width, but just round. And that apartment block is 3.5 kilometers away. That's about 2.2 miles. These lines of sight on here, when we are looking at that sun, if we were this small, perfectly to scale with what the numbers they give us, we are looking at a 16-story apartment block that is 2.2 miles away, 3.53 kilometers away. That is where the sun is. Now, it's important to understand that, because if you can't understand that, right, nothing I say from here onwards is going to make any sense to anybody. You must know that these lines of sight from here, that one from Norway and that one down from Australia, and this is the globe that they're telling us, these are the angles, right? Those lines of sight are traveling 3.5 kilometers away and are going to end up resting on a 16-story apartment block. Now, this is important because these are the angles at which we are seeing the sun. Right now, that sun is a little bit higher up in the sky, right? But this morning, if I had got out here at 8 o'clock, that sun would have been about there, right? Fairly low. And Norway at the very same time, this is 8 in the morning, right, an hour and a bit ago, 2 hours ago, I'm not sure what time it is now, they would have been looking from that way. So we're looking at the sun, let me zoom out from here, right, so the sun, see, it's not that high anyway. I'm not sure if Norway can still see it. They might be able to. It would be about here. And then that way, all the way up to over the North Equator, Norway is looking and seeing the same sun. I'm saying that no, that cannot be. if we have a sun that is 150 million kilometers away from us, that simply cannot happen. Norway and Australia cannot see that sun at the same time unless we're on a flat earth. Now, this is where you must listen, folks. These are the facts, right? I am not making this up. What we have right here is Norway at the top. Now, Norway is seeing the sun in its northeasterly sky, okay? See, this angle here, the angle that the line of sight is coming off of the globe, it wouldn't be too far off, right? Because it skims along the horizon, and then as it gets further and further away, and then 3.5 kilometers away, they're seeing the same sun, right, that Australia is seeing. But if we come around to Australia, this is where this exercise comes into play. Let's go to the other side. Now, look at this. There's something here that is not making sense. Look at Australia. Now look at that line of sight. Let me just bring these legs down. That line of sight, these are facts, right? And this is why it's important to know how far away we're looking at. That line of sight is going straight up. What is happening, and believe you me, I know because I'm here, is let me zoom out, I'm seeing the sun at an angle of like that. Can you see what I'm saying? I'm looking in my northeast, just like that, just above the ocean, above the horizon. I am looking this way, right? But at the moment, when we look at that, look, for me to see the sun that Norway is seeing from that angle, which is probably a fairly might be a bit there, right? Straight over its horizon, skims across land, out over Earth. Now that angle, the way it is, I have to be looking straight up, but I'm not. I am looking like this. So the lines of sight are converging somewhere here. Even that is tame. Even that is a tame angle. Because I'm looking up like this. Oh, that's it. That's the angles that is coming off of Earth. For Norway and Australia to be seeing this same sun that converge here, they cannot be converging 3.5 kilometers away because the angle doesn't allow for it. I am looking I'm looking straight up into the sky if Norway is looking in the direction that they say it's looking. Now, look, we might as well be the sun. How? Look at Australia. It's looking straight up, isn't it? If I pull it this way, now that is where Norway is, give or take, looking. Its line of sight, right? But look at us. Not only is it the wrong way, it cannot be, folks. This cannot be. These are their dimensions, their angles, right? This is the science. I'm seeing the sun up here. My northeasterly sky, like this. Norway is seeing like that. It has to be a local sun. It cannot be. A 16-story apartment block that's 3.5 k's away that we are both looking at, because it does not make sense. Now, if anybody didn't understand the dimensions that I just went through and the distances to the actual sun in real life, then of course, when you hear me say the things that I say, you might think it's ridiculous. But I've been around quite a long time, and when I hear something about the moon or the sun or Jupiter or Mars, in my head I have already got a distance picture, because I understand about the dimensions and the distances involved. A lot of you don't, and that is easily verifiable because of the comments some of you are leaving. There is no way possible for us here in Queensland, Australia, at 8 in the morning to be seeing the sun in our northeasterly sky at the very same time as Norway in the northern hemisphere is seeing the sun in their northeasterly sky. They are seeing it like that. Look, hey, at that angle, and we are seeing the sun at that angle. We are seeing the sun at that angle. This angle, that's what I'm doing. There, that's up there. It's like that. And Norway is seeing the sun at that angle. So, like I said, if people cannot understand that, it's very obvious that this is also the reason why you can't understand how it can't be either a globe or there is something else amiss. Now here we have a flat earthing, and this stuff, it's in the perfect, it's set up so it is correct with the north, south, east and west settings, the headings. Now, once again, we've just seen it on the globe. I'm here. That's the North Pole. That's Norway. Right now, I am looking up and I am seeing the sun in that direction. North, that's north, slightly northeast. I am right now, even though it's a little bit later and it's higher up, I'm looking up at the sun, and this is the direction I am looking, give or take. Norway is here. They're seeing the sun at the same time. Folks, there is no getting away from this. If it were 3.5 k's away, it would be, this just would be going for 3.5 k's. And then the lines of sight would eventually meet when they hit the 16-story apartment block. They are looking in this direction. We are looking in that direction. This can only play out with a local sun. The sun that we are looking up at in the sky cannot be 150 million kilometers away if Norway is seeing it in their night sky at the same time. It is a physical impossibility. It seriously defies logic and obliterates common sense, which is probably why science said it doesn't care about your common sense. The universe does not have to make sense to you. Some of us did not get that memo. There's a reason it was said. Now, I don't know how many times I can keep going over this, right? But I know there's people with different sets of knowledge, general knowledge about the planet, about Earth, about the solar system. It cannot be. The angles on a globe do not allow for us and Norway to be seeing the sun at the same time. It is an impossibility. The angles are so far out. It's not even a close thing where it could be a maybe. It's just out. The only way that we can see the sun in the morning and Norway can see the sun at night is if the sun is closer. That is a slam dunk. The angles, all you people that keep laughing about this, you need to go back a few years and start learning about basic angles and distances. That is probably a little bit higher. Look, there is a chance, I'm not sure what time it is, that right now, right this second, Norway can still see that sun in the sky. It's probably gone midnight. It's probably about 1 in the morning, maybe 1:30 in the morning. I'm not sure at what time it disappears, if it disappears at this time of year. But what I do know is that around midnight, they are looking at that sun at the same time as we are. It cannot happen on a globe, folks. Whether you want to accept it or not, it's true. The angles don't allow. All right. I will be back.